Hola mis amigos y bienvenidos de nuevo a otro video. Hoy vamos a hablar sobre algunos verbos como gustar and just a slight little review over our IOP or the indirect object pronoun. Alright, so you will have noticed that our notes section this time around has been broken up into two little segments. Hopefully this will create a more bite-sized portion of the lectures and that you'll be able to retain it better and call upon it a little more quickly. Alright, so for this first section, our notes don't change, by the way, between the first and the second sections, the same notes packet. But so to begin our note section, we are going to continue on with this brief review. So, good news, friends. We already know how to use gustar and the indirect object pronoun. So, this will be a breeze. Alright, but let's go ahead and define once again what is that IOP. It tells us here that the IOP refers to the person or thing we have for whom the action is being performed. In other words, it answers the question either to whom or for whom. If you remember nothing at all, remember this. Put a big star, highlight it, something super important. IOP answers the question to whom or for whom. So let's look at a few examples here. This first sentence says, Rosalía escribe notas a su amigo. O sea, Rosalie writes notes to her friend. So in this instance, we know that amigo is that indirect object because he is the one, ready, for whom that action is being done. So, in other words, we could replace su amigo with the pronoun him, changing the indirect object to the indirect object pronoun. All right, that's a mouthful, right? We know this, guys. It's a lot harder to explain than it is to put into practice, but essentially, we know a few things that are true about our IOPs. IOP, we can say receives the action, okay, or answers the question, like we said over here, to whom or for whom, right? And then bonus points, if you nail this right, is the IOP the subject of the sentence? Can it ever be the subject? The answer is no. IOP is never the subject. And it can't be, right? If it's receiving the action, the thing that's doing the action would, of course, be the subject. The person receiving it, not so much. All right, let's move on. So, as we review here, we do see our IOPs here. We have me, te, le, nos, and les. Remembering that me, te, and nos are our unique ones, but that le and les here are a bit more ambiguous, right? They belong to a few people. We have either to him, to her, or to you formal. And in that plural sense, we either have to them, or it is to you all, a ustedes, right? All right, here we go. So, as we look at this little review over our Spanish construction, let's break this sentence down here. We have, me gusta esta clase. We must remember that esta clase is a singular noun, and it is the subject because it is the class that is doing the pleasing to me, right? We remember that we can rephrase this sentence. Instead of saying, I'm going to write it down here. We have this class is pleasing to me, is what this translates to. Or you could also reorder it as in to me, comma, this class is pleasing. Okay, so if it helps you to better frame these sentences within this order, that's perfectly fine, right? Whatever helps it click for you, that's what I want to see, okay? But either way, to me, no matter how we say it, I'm the only one being affected here, right? So it's this class. This is the ticket. That is what is my subject here. This class, that's doing the pleasing. So singular noun is my subject. Our verb, obviously, friends, we have gusta, and it must agree with the singular subject, right? So it's only one class, I'm using gusta. And then, finalmente, we have me, which is our IOP, and that is the person to whom or for whom that action is occurring. All right, you got this. Here we go. Let's look at our last slide. We can also look at if the subject of the sentence is a plural, we remember that gusta becomes gustan. We see that plural form as it matches the plural subject. So for example, if I wanted to say the sentence, I like grapes, or again, grapes are pleasing to me, or to me the grapes are pleasing, however we want to do it. Our IOP goes first. Our verb form is in the plural sense, gustan, and then our subject here in blue, las uvas, or the grapes. So, the cool thing about this, friends, is that if we've got this locked down and pat, we are about to learn some other verbs that use this exact same structure. Basically, no new rules applied. You already got it. Now we're just talking vocabulary acquisition. That is all for this, my friends. If you have questions, as always, you know where to find me. And if not, just keep on keeping on. Hope you guys have a fantastic day y nos vemos pronto. Adiós, amigos. Ciao.